evening, good night, good evening, good night. Just want to welcome each and everyone to the Radio Talk Show. It happens every Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 11 Eastern Time, right? So go out to invite and share and be a part of tonight's show, right? The topic is where have all the men gone? A very, very interesting topic. We have a few guests coming on tonight, so you don't want to miss this show, right? And you could always be a part of it, right? So you could always link me and I'll send you a link. You could join in and share your ideas, your opinions, and your thoughts, right? So again, the topic tonight is where have all the men gone? Very, very interesting topic, right? We're gonna play a few music before we get the guests coming in. So sit back, enjoy, and be a part of the show, right?
Yo, watch this. Yeah, man, this is Devil, aka Terry Mason. I represent straight for Godfather Sounds, you see it. Because man like DJ Viper, man like DJ Bandon, you see it. The Belizean Sounds out of New York City. Yes, see it. Watch you now. Oh, you bounce like a ball right away, Godfather Sound to the fullest of them cranium, is it? Woman, there's something you should know. Godfather, some ladies, there is something you should know. Godfather, some ladies, I got to tell you that you're one in a million. One in a million, girl, and I will never ever give you up. Godfather sounds will never ever give you up for another. You should know that you're my one in a million. One in a million, and I will never ever. Godfather sounds will never ever. Alright then, hey. Woman up there, they no mind, cause they can stop this. No, they want us to fail, we gonna run this. The love that we share is so amazing. Nobody's elbows.
Just want to big up everybody in the Facebook Live. Big up yourself, you don't know, right?
When they think them off my head, you've got my
Godfather Song DJ Viper, the New York, same way.
After all the things I'm said, Godfather Song put you on a pedestal and turn your head because you are one in a million. One in a million, girl, and I will never ever give you up.
Just want to big up all the ladies, right? Big up yourself each and every time.
You should know that you are one in a million. One in a million, girl, and I will never ever give you up. Godfather Sound, I will never ever give you up. Alright then, woman, you are the sweet testing for the happiness and joy you bring. And you are the great is the reason why Godfather Sound is spin. You are there to see me through my times of trouble. Show the good and show the bad no matter when you do. When everybody else fails, you always come to cover the sound sticking to you like crazy glue. From the day I met you, girl, you've been the center of my world. So I'm giving you all the diamonds and I'm giving you all the pearls. And then you are the woman of my dreams. Godfather Sound will never let you down, no matter how hard it seems. In a million.
Yes, you are one in a million.
In a million, girl, and I will never. Godfather Sound, I will never ever give you up for another. You should know that you know.
When this is Godfather Sound, man calling celebrate behind town. You don't know any man DJ Viper, you large, you know man. Rastafari, you know. Sing, so we say, how we gonna do it in a original style, eh?
We want to play 2 dubs until we get some people in the show, right? Once again, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitch, we're live on Twitter, and we're also live on the Godfather Songs app, right?
The time right now, don't you know that Godfather multiplying right now? Consciousness is soaring like a kite right now. So when you see the devil, tell him it's a
no fly zone, right?
What's in the beginning must come right round. Like if you're born black, you could not turn light brown. You like the truth, you are gonna like my son. But if you like those guys, goodbye, bye, clown. Viper, put some blanca pieces, squeeze a live round. Legal with legal around the compound. If ganja should be legal, sell it pound by pound. Cause 2 ounce can't buy no house uptown. Godfather, talk it like it is. And when we talk,
that's right. Tonight we're gonna talk it like it is. The topic tonight is where have all the men gone, right? So we have a few guests. They're gonna come in a few minutes. So I'm just gonna do a couple dub plates. So if you want to be a part of the show, just let me know. I'll get you a link and I'll have you join the conversation, right? You could send us some messages, some questions, and we're gonna answer to the best of our knowledge, right?
Well, this is the Godfather sound. Man call Alexander Brim behind town. You don't know any man DJ Viper, you large, you know, man. Rastafari, you know. Seen, so we say, how we gonna do it in a original style, eh? Godfather, real Godfather in general. I'm afraid now. Godfather, what time you know? Tell them.
What's the time right now?
Look on your watch and check the time right now. Don't you know that Godfather multiplying right now? Consciousness is soaring like a kite right now. So when you see the devil, tell him it's a no-fly zone. What's in the beginning must come right round. Like if you're born black, you could not turn light brown. You like the truth, you are gonna like my son. But if you like those guys, goodbye white clown. Viper, put some blanca misses, squeeze a live round. Legal with legal, I run the compound. If ganja should be legal, sell it pound by pound. Cause 2 ounce can't buy no house uptown. Godfather, talk it like it is. And when we talk the truth, them say we talk it is. Godfather sound, we are talk it like it is. But not just talk it, yes we walk it, and the life we live. Right away, talk it like it is. And when we talk the truth, them say we talk it is. But man, talk it like it is. Hear me the DJ Viper Godfather. Hey. You know, Sir Rasta man, no mix up in the politics. So in the music business, that is where I take a step. When Viper take a check and look deep in depth, it more divided than the 14 parish. Them say you know fi talk only per sound we get vexed. Godfather we no care, we know how the thing set. Some select and no know fi play, so them play a lot of mess. We the boy no play my song now, we no too stressed. Cause there's a lot of space on the internet. Godfather like the streets so everything connect. You have some people wake up in the morning, them full of stress. Then greet you with the early phone call or text. We tell you who are war with who, tell with who and who left. We say as they break and you feel them come to death. But the best part of the conversation me coulda get is when the woman says,
I'm sorry, I have no credit left.
alright then, talk it like it is. Godfather, yes, we talk it, we no talk it. Hey, come on up, talk it like it is.
Big up Unruly Boss, all in Belize City, right?
And the life
Big up all my Belize home and abroad.
on we are chant it like it is. And man, not talk the truth, man, and not talk it. Follow me now, talk it. Hey, me down the man. Godfather playing at the station. Hey, well, rubber where we love. Rubber where we love. Rubber. Godfather, yes, and we are like the club. It's written in the club. Hey, Godfather, so now we are chat.
That's right. Tonight is Wednesday, right? Every Wednesday it's all about the radio talk show from 9 p.m. Eastern to 11, where we discuss different topics. It's all regular people. We're just having a conversation, sharing ideas, opinions, and our thoughts, right? It's open to the public, so you guys can always join in and share your opinions, your ideas, and your thoughts. Today's topic is where have all the men gone, right? Because there's been a shortage of men. They've been coming up missing, right? So we're going to have that discussion. We have a few guests that's going to come in a few minutes, right? I just want to go over a couple of things with you guys. If you guys haven't got the Godfather Songs app, you should get it. Go to your app store, your Google Play Store, download the Godfather Songs app, right? It's free in those stores, right? It's free, 100% free, right? And believe me, you're going to be happy that you got those once you download it. We're going to send you notification of shows coming up. So we have a show every day of the week from Monday to Monday, right? So Monday night, we had a jazz night. We moved it to Tuesday night. So we got to replace that with a show. We're working on that. So Tuesday night, we have the jazz night. Start from 9 p.m. Eastern to 11. And from there, you have the Love Boat, which is from 11 p.m. until 2, right? So that's the jazz night and Love Boat on Tuesday. On Wednesday, of course, we have the talk show where, it's an open topic. We discuss different topic from time to time, right? And that's on Wednesday night. And then Thursday, we have the traffic jam, right? Where it's all about hip hop, R&B, a little bit of rap music to get you home safe out of traffic, right? And that's pretty much on Thursday. Friday, we have the Belizean music, the story, Belize, the story, the music, right? We discuss what's going on with Belize. We play nothing but Belizean music, and we share to you a few stuff about Belize, right? So you don't want to miss that on Friday. On Saturday, now it's all about the reggae music. The reggae music is all about the lovers rock, dancehall, a little bit of ska, a little bit of throwback. Right, that's on Thursday, on Saturday. I'm trying to do two things at once. All right, and then on Sunday we do have the gospel service, church service, praise and worship, where we play gospel music, reggae, soca, contemporary, all type of gospel music, and then we have a message for you. All right, so you want to get the app so you get these shows, and we're going to notify you when shows coming up, and we also going to have live artists performing all the time. So you want to get these shows, get the app right. We do have Maka backstage. I'm going to bring him on front stage. That's the co-host. Good evening, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Good evening.
All right, man. How's your week been so far?
Pretty good. Pretty interesting as always.
Right. It's been kind of crazy for me. We lost my wife, dad. So we've been going through a lot of changes, making arrangements. So it's been kind of rough.
Yeah, man. You have my deepest condolences.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. Right. So, we back at it again tonight. We have a very, very interesting topic. Where have all the men gone? And, we're going to get into that shortly, right? Anthony just sent me a message. He's coming up inside also. So, yeah. All right. So he'll be here shortly, right? So pretty much I have Mr. Levi going to join us, and also Malcolm out of Los Angeles. So we have a few people in tonight that's going to be a part of this show. Right, so I know it's going to be a bit of a fireworks tonight. So everybody out there in the live, invite, share. And if you have any questions, send that question. We're going to answer it for you. And if you want to be a part of the show, we definitely would like you to come in. Just let me know. I'll send you that link, and pretty much you can share your ideas and your thoughts. Right. So Mr. Maka, what's new? What's new in your side of the town, man?
Cost of living.
Price went up, right?
Well, what is new? There was an interesting, I think, for want of a better word, news. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, that the Biden administration has proposed to pay illegal immigrants that are coming across the border. I don't know if it's from the Texas border, but $450,000 per family. I don't know if you heard of that.
I guess I got to move back and come across illegally, right? No, I haven't heard about that before. This is my first time. Like I said, I haven't been watching what's going on lately, so that's pretty much new to me, man. So, where did you get that information from?
on the lamestream media.
Lamestream media, right?
The propaganda media. So
okay,
but all of them have been saying it, and senators has been talking about it. So that's the craziest. We're in crazy world, we're in zombie world, but this is beyond zombies.
Right, that's a lot of money, man. $450,000, man.
No, as well, it's pretty much like there's no law. So what about the people who are going as per the law way?
Right,
so what are really the legal way, really? So here it is. You're mandating and forcing people to take something against their will, and if they don't, then they have no job, they can't feed their family. But yet you're willing to give each family $450,000?
Well, I'll tell you something right quick. I have Mr. Barnett in the backstage. I'm going to bring him in after I make this statement. To all my believers back home, you heard that right. They're willing to pay you $450 to come illegally to America. So, start planning. All right. Don't take my word for it, but just start planning. All right. I'm going to bring Mr. Barnett on the main screen. Good evening, Mr. Barnett. How are you doing, sir?
Listen, I'm in a kitchen right now. I'm chicken in my.
Okay.
That's what man work.
Okay. You're busy at work, chefing, yeah. Right? So we just want to invite you, and again, just want to let you know you're welcome to be a part of the show. And tonight's topic is where have all the men gone. We're going to get into the topic in a few minutes. Just let the audience know a little bit about yourself, since it's your first time on the show, right? And of course, you met Mr. Maka before, right?
Yeah, man. Blessed be Don.
Yeah,
Son of Don.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Maka is he's one of the dons, right?
Yeah,
All right. So yeah,
So
just give
yeah,
us a little brief introduction about yourself, so the audience kind of know more about you a little bit before we get into this topic.
well, officially, I am originally from Jamaica, Kingston, was born. Ricardo Valentino Burnett is the name. I'm a chef at tonight because actually I end up realizing that I had to do some work tonight. So I say I still participate in the program. I am I'm an ordained minister of the gospel since 2000, so 21 years ago, and I'm a chef. I make juices, I do poetry, and I love God, and I'm kind of to what is happening in the world. My heart reaching out to many persons, especially people involved with drugs and the disenfranchised. So, my voice is to give voice to the voiceless
All right.
and to help people be encouraged and be strong in whatever they are doing.
All right. So we're definitely gonna hear your opinions and your ideas tonight. We're gonna hear your voice, and hopefully we could encourage someone out there tonight and give them some leadership, right? So once again, we just want to welcome you on board tonight. Just before we get started, I'm gonna play a video just to give us some little ideas where we're going to in a little bit. I know Mr. Maka just dropped off for a second. He should be back shortly. So I'm just gonna play this video and then we're gonna get back in straight into the topic. We have two more persons that are gonna join us tonight. We have Anthony out of Los Angeles and we have Malcolm out of Los Angeles. They're gonna join us tonight also. So just add Maka back on screen. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So all right. So you good? All right. So just before we get started, I'm just gonna play a small video. And pretty much it's just gonna kind of highlight what we're talking about today.
Okay. Cool.
So men still exist, obviously. There's still guys around who have the hardware that it takes to be men, who have all the chromosomes that are necessary to be genetically men, but somehow they've forgotten what it means, or what those traits, those inherently masculine traits, are to be used for. So there's lots of pressures on a man not to live as a man, not to live for the good of others, not least of which is the pressure from within. His own selfish drive, his own desire to take care of himself before others, to put his own needs ahead of everyone else's, which is fundamentally not what it means to be a man. It's what it means to be a boy, to be selfish and self-centered. And then there's pressures from outside of him, pressures from a culture that is no friend of genuine masculinity, that views sort of the ruggedness, the wildness of real masculinity as something that needs to be bred out, cultivated out of our men to make them nice and civilized and tame them. And then there's the overreaction on the other side, the hyper-masculine distortions of what it means to be a man. So against kind of a feminized culture, some men react by thinking masculinity is just a caricature, that it's all about big guns or big trucks or big muscles, and as long as you have those things, then you're really a man. But none of those things makes you a man. What makes you a man, what makes you genuinely masculine, is learning to live for the good of others.
All right. So that was just a little a script from a rev that I researched and found his message. So so I just want to share that with you guys. Let me know what you guys think about it, Mr. Maka.
Yeah, it sums it up. Sums it up pretty much. Yeah, I agree. It takes more than just a physical, physical look is a start to show that you're a man. It's a physical look. So at least that, but it goes beyond just what society dictates. Once in the past, society used to dictate exactly certain things, masculinity and voice and ruggedness and big stuff, and but nowadays that has flipped on its head. It's the opposite now. You must pretty much be a victim, be defenseless, can't even defend a woman or stand up and say what your opinions are without fear of repercussions or anything. So
Right.
yeah, I agree with most of what he says, if not all. You know.
Yeah, me myself as well. Of course, there's more to add to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Barnett, do you want to comment on that little video of this Rev what he said just a few minutes ago?
Well, the subject is a very interesting one. But in my thought, man, you have to go back to the beginning, right? And as a reverend, as a man speak, there are so many different qualities that makes a man. But the thing is about it is that just like a tree, once you have a seed and you plant it, it will grow. So a seed is just, you can get mango from an orange tree, from an
Right.
orange seed. So in the beginning, the book of Genesis said, God said, let us make man. So man was made, and man was given certain instruction as to how to be a man. And but I think to be a man, sometimes a man has to learn to be a man. So I think our society and the system has, play a trick on men, So men are not being taught because they have to be taught some things. Something you can caught and you can read, but I believe that from the household standpoint, a lot of boys wasn't being taught how to grow up and how to be a man. So I think the root sometimes is from there.
Right. So pretty much it start from the beginning of time when man was created, and there was pretty much direction or instruction on how to be a man from the first day of creation. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, because you were made or born a man, and there are certain things that as a man you are expected to do. Just like um anything the computer, there are certain things you must do with it for it to operate and for it to function.
Right.
So if you try to do something else what the manufacturer or the maker of it says to do, it might just don't work for you because you are trying to do it your own way. But you notice it all come in a manual. So man were made in a certain way to act a certain way, as man should. I mean, if you look at a woman, even just the shape of a woman to the shape of a man, you always see a woman have a different type of shape from a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it tells you that there are certain things that a man were born with, and and it's inside of him. But sometimes he doesn't follow exactly what should be done from the inside, because man have to start to think from within. But our society and the system the system set up a way to tell you what to do, and if sometimes they were telling the right thing, it would be good, but the system set up sometimes to tell you the wrong thing about who you are. And
Okay.
so you have a lot of men follow that pattern.
Right. Right. So pretty much when creation started, man was man. You would say back then. What At what time do things start changing, where men started to drift off? Or you want to add something to it, Mr. Maka?
You want me to add something to it?
Yes, sir. I know you're waiting.
Um, it's well, human. I've always said this, and history has shown us human behavior never changes. never changes. Man has so much hubris. He believes so much in himself, which is good. But he is just because he has got a little intelligence. There's a saying that says a little knowledge is too a little knowledge can be dangerous. So man believes that he knows more than the creator. Obviously, he knows more just by his actions. He thinks he knows it all. You look at what is happening today with just about anything. The creator is never in this. They say they worship the creator, but hey, it's just a matter of talking. So man will always believe that he knows better. He acts like he knows better. Talk about airspace, that he owns the airspace, amongst other things. He owns man. There's a time when, and it's still happening now, but maybe not in the sense that we know it, where man was selling man. Yeah, you
Right.
go to the market and you buy a man.
Right. Yeah.
So with all of that, man think he has the power. So he could say, well, today I feel like a woman. I'm gonna change myself. I'm not happy. I was born a man, but I feel like a woman and I want to be a woman, or vice versa. So some part of mind and society is ill. It's a mental illness, in my humblest opinion, is a mental illness. But the problem is when you have government that forces these mental illness on you, the individual, to make you believe that this is something that is innately wrong is right. There lies the problem. Anybody could say, I could say I identify, say I'm a rhinoceros. Fine. That don't make me a rhinoceros.
Right.
I could take a sex change and I can look like a rhinoceros. Still doesn't make me a rhinoceros. So that is the problem we have. And people who do this, I think, are mentally ill. But the problem is the system that encourages it. And it's a money-making thing for pharmaceutical company to have these hormone drugs. It comes back to money again. You understand? There's a lot has to do with money. Everything has to do with money because the powers that should not be, the powers behind these things are pushing these things. And how do they push it? Social media and via government laws, where now you can go in, any man can go into a woman's bathroom.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we've seen the repercussions with that.
Yeah.
So
No.
the
No.
problem is that man becomes a lover of himself because he believes so much in himself. He believes that, oh my God, I get plane to fly, so I'm a genius. And not only that, other people worship man too. Oh my God, he's a doctor, he's a lawyer. So worship, so he gets so much into himself, so much overconfidence that he has forgotten where he's coming from and forgotten his roots.
Right. So, pretty much as the topic, so where have the men gone? Have you noticed there's a lack of men, or what's the main characteristic of a man that we are lacking in today's society?
I don't have no cojones.
Well, I think one of the things, Dan and John, there was a saying in the Greek culture, and I think is either Plato or Aristotle coined that phrase. Know yourself. And I think one of the things is that man don't even know who they are. So you have to know who you are. So if you don't know who you are, then you're not going to act like what you're supposed to be. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're going to act like something else. It's like they were saying one time that a lion were among some sheep. Guy from a little baby. His mother had probably died something, but him actually ended up growing up with the sheep. And whatever the sheep do, him start to do it. You understand?
Right.
So him saw some lion one time, and then make a chase at the sheep. And the sheep run, and he was running with the sheep too. And it so happened that the sheep them run in a path to kill off themselves. And him never actually go over it because then him hear like a roar, and it's like the roar did something to him, and him stop and realize say something. It's like a sound hit him,
Right.
and the other lion them look at him, and them like them stop, and from that him recognize who I'm not a sheep.
Who he is, right?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that word know yourself, man, know yourself. And Marcus Garvey came on the scene to, he was born 1887, and he came on and he found out that a lot of men did not know who they are. And through slavery, too, a lot of men, they were so oppressed. So the masters then are the slave owners. They notice they used to call even big men in America here in the 60s, boy, policeman, stop a big man, hey boy. So that sort of mentality. Martin Luther King and his father was driving, and the police pulled them over and say, hey boy. And Martin Luther King father looked at him and said, no, are you talking to me? Martin Luther King father pointed at Martin Luther and said, that is a boy, but I am a man.
Right.
So we find, say, there's a society, a man have to come to know first who he is.
Right. Yeah, that's just I went back to what Maka was saying, the same thing. Pretty much you gotta know who you are and
Well, where does he get this knowledge from?
right.
From the $15,000 our full system that he goes to, and he's constantly taught how to behave.
Right.
And we're seeing what is happening now. Again, is the very school system that is switching all kind of behavior as per man. A kid is in a school, and if he says he wants to be called a girl, teacher have to call him a girl, even if he looks like a boy.
Right.
And if the teacher doesn't, then the teacher is in trouble. So here's the thing: is people are being chastised for calling the obvious. It's like I'm looking at a car and say it's a car, but no, a lot of people say no, it's a sheep. But here it is. I've said this earlier. The truth is still the truth if just one person believe it, and a lie is still a lie if a million people believe it. You understand? People are looking, and people are into their own self, and people are now being, as I said, chastised for something that is obvious. 100 million years ago, it was obvious, but all of a sudden now it is not, because we have 72 different genders and we have all kind of stuff. You see, recently the Biden administration appointed an obvious man to some position. I don't remember what it is, but he addressed his confirmation, or what he says was that I'm glad to be the first woman. He's obviously a man.
Right.
Now, a senator commented on it on Twitter that said the obvious. It's a man. Of course, he was suspended on Twitter. The very thing that I'm saying. This is part of the problem.
Right. Yeah. It's a big problem. It's definitely a big problem. It's pretty much getting control again. It's all about control. If they control what you do and who you are, then of course they have you to do what they want you to do. Right. So my main thing is in today's day, there's not much of a leadership. And like Mr. Levi said, it had got broken down from a long time ago through slavery, and a lot of families don't have both parents in the family anymore. Some families just a single lady, no dad around to teach boys how to be boys into men, and these women has this role to carry, and most of them can't teach a boy how to be a man because they're not a man, right? So they lack in that foundation, that leadership. And the moment you put your boys into a club like a boys club, or like a scouts or a sporting event, they end up getting molested by somebody. So all that has a lot to do with where the men's are nowadays, because these boys don't have leaderships. Back when I was growing up, I had chores when I was growing up. My dad used to make sure I clean the yard, paint the house, help him around the house with chores, doing stuff that I need to learn so I could be able to protect and provide for my family and support my family, as a man. Nowadays, these kids, all they do is on a PlayStation. They don't get any chores. They don't have any father figures. You ask them for a screwdriver or a hammer, they don't even know what a screwdriver is. What's that? An airplane? They don't know, right? So,
Exactly.
so again, it's a lot of leadership. It starts from the family. I believe most stuff start from home, and then the government impose on top of that, like you said, with school. When you send your kids to school, then they get that education which teach them how to be sensitive.
You mean indoctrination?
All right, all right.
How
Yes,
to
sir.
think, what not to think, what to say, how to react. And these men or people in general don't have discernment. They don't know to think independently or to think critically. And we see what's happening. And it's not just in America, it's all over the world. Because guess what's what is the common denominator in all of that? Starts with a G and ends with a T.
Right. The government.
And
Yeah.
therein lies the problem. And until we address the root cause of a problem, we could talk until the cows come home. And the church has failed miserably too, especially in today's world. The church has. Now, when you look at the Catholic Church and you look at the Boy Scouts, where they have molested millions of kids, boys, millions, men dressing up in a dress, talk about their pope and priests and all kind of foolishness. And I mean, anybody on the call who's Catholic, tough luck. Reality
Well,
is reality.
well, tonight, I'm sure a lot of people gonna get their feelings hurt.
All
But
right.
if you don't measure up to be a man, we won't talk about you tonight. You
Listen to
know.
me. As I said, the truth is the truth if it's just one person believe it. And a lie is still a lie if a gazillion people believe it. Facts is facts. And we're just talking the facts here. I mean, the American Boy Scout Association went out of business because they were sued for this. And it's been a thing that's been happening for years upon years, just like the Catholic Church. And that does a lot to young men. It
Yes.
does.
Right. And again, like I said, the slavery and the prison that take away all these men from their family and have them locked up, and the women are left to fend for themselves and raise a family, and the government comes in and say, here's a check, you don't need a man, here's a check, we're going to pay you with a check so you could provide for yourself, so you don't need a man. So now the boys at home, doesn't have that male figure to show them how to become a man, and it get worse as the generation passes by. So I feel like that's where we're heading to, where in the next couple generation there'll be less and less men out there.
So that means that the population will be extinct because we can't reproduce.
Yeah, because the men not going to reproduce men anymore, right?
I
Because
mean,
they don't have the characteristic or what it takes to be a leader and to be a provider and a protector of your family,
but
as a man.
again, government plays a massive role in this. You look at the CDC website, look at women, even women now are being marginalized too, because now they're saying the CDC website doesn't say pregnant women, it says pregnant people. Now, the only people I know that can get pregnant is women.
That's true.
Here's the thing again. No, and on the website, and a lot of literature is now changing to say pregnant people or just people, when in fact only women can reproduce. So here it is now, a whole society is being conditioned to accept something that is genetically a lie
Right.
and making it and normalizing it and then ostracizing people who are calling it BS.
Yes. So Mr. Barnett,
Yes.
On your point of view, on a religious point of view of men, great men that was appointed to be leadership, could you share some thoughts on that for us?
Men, can you repeat the question?
Men that was appointed by God to be leadership, like say Moses, Joseph, those are
Yeah.
men that was called out to lead. Correct?
Yes, sure.
Right. So could you emphasize a little bit on that, if you have any knowledge on why those men was appointed by God to be leaders?
Well, in every generation, and as I said, go back to the root of it. The scripture says, God says, let us make man. And he said, let us make man and let them have dominion, but not over man, but have dominion over the birds and the fish and over the land. That means a man could have go there and plant, do some agriculture work, raise animals and all that. To say man is able to tame all fish.
Right.
Man tame lions, man tame, birds, send birds and birds come back and all those things,
No,
So
I don't think
there
man
are
team lion. Man team lion in a cage. Try
well,
it in the wild.
It's
That's
right.
the ultimate test.
Well, I
but
guess Tarzan
yeah,
did, right?
some man got lion, like for instance, I think Haile Selassie had a lion by his side. Yeah.
Right. So
But
so man has dominant over everything on the earth except a next man.
yeah, that's all.
All right.
That's all the creator who
Said
created
it.
all things designed it.
Right.
You know, um, and as time goes on, you always wonder why it's only a few men or one man being selected from time to time. But we see where Abraham was called to be the father of many nations and believe God. And we see God chose Noah again. We read about it that the ark, he told Noah, listen, I'm going to send a flood because of the wickedness of man. Come back again and say, boy, because the imagination of man's heart was wicked and corrupt from the day he was born. So again, he find one man, Noah, and he say, I want you to build an ark, and Noah obey. Move on from Noah, then him raise up Moses, Joseph. So it's just a continuous thing in every generation. You find a generation come wickedness display, but in every generation, if there is one or two men, that always take on, like you say, a leadership position like Moses. Moses himself was even backing down from being a leader, from going forward. But, God had to speak to him and to him, say, listen, I am the one that taking you through, you know what I'm saying? So, from scriptural basis, we can see wherein God always find a man in each generation, a man that will stand up for righteousness and truth. Like you still have men today that, even though the system is what it is, you still have men today that will stand up, and do that which is right and not be a part of everything.
Right. Which that's a few, just a few.
Yeah, it might be a few. I say many are called, but few are chosen.
Right. So today, from your knowledge, is there any person or any man that you see that is called in today's time, that is chosen today to lead?
Well, the thing about it, the way the world is right now, you have men today that sometimes you might not even know them, but you have men out there that would do the right thing and walk upright, but sometimes he's not even been known. Sometimes the media don't know him or don't see him. So sometimes the challenge is that. And some of the men who are in the limelight, sometimes they are not the men that have the proper leadership skills or walking upright. But you have, I personally believe that you have men today that people don't even see them or know them or recognize them. You know what I'm saying? When if you, I mean, moving shifting away a little from the Bible, and I'm just talking about in recent times. I mean, even during slavery, you have men rose up, like even Frederick Douglass. Man, you know, them man they learn to read and come forth, you know, with that truth that them discover and realize, so hold on, but the same people who have us in slavery and oppression, and they themselves reading the Bible too, but they don't want us to read. You see? So there's something that they are hiding that they don't want us to know the truth of who we are. And those men rose up to the front and come forward and show other people, show other slaves, you know, who you are. You know, you have women like Harriet Tubman who came forth, rise up, realizing, come to a place and realize, listen, I was born free. I wasn't, you know, created to be a slave, to be subjugated by another man's will, you know. And we see that throughout history, even America, you know, we see Martin Luther King, W.D. Du Bois, you know, Nat Turner. In Jamaica, one the time we had the Maroons, you know, we had Nanny, you know, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogle. Paul Bogle couldn't even read, you know, but he rise up and realize what truth is, and hey, I'm a man,
Right.
you know, and you know, during the march when Martin Luther King was alive and the march, in one of the banners that the notice they had say, I am a man. So
Right.
so identifying as a man is very important. You know, yeah, opening the car door for a lady, that is good. But that is even more to be a man than this. You have to know who you are as a man and the function as a man. Just
Right.
like a computer or a car, you have to know the function of the iron. When you go to iron it, you have to plug it in, you have to turn it on, the light comes on, you know, everything have a function. The blender have a function, you know, the button of it function, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Just to back up you on that, when you say a man open a door for a car is a courtesy, right? So, in my opinion, I wouldn't want my woman to open my door for me. You know, it's more than a courtesy, right? It shows leadership, it shows respect, and it shows strength. You know that you are here. I'm gonna make sure you get into the car safely. I'm gonna open that door for you, right? So it show man. It show that I have dominance over my family. I'm gonna protect my family. I'm gonna open the door for my wife, make sure she get in safe and close the door. I wouldn't have her come and open the door for me. I get in and she go around the car and open the door for herself. While she go around the car, she get attacked. I'm in the car, right? So it goes more than courtesy for me, right? You know, those little things is, you know, and these are the things that start you off in the right direction of being a man, right? If you start taking away these little courtesy, then you start stripping your responsibility and also, you know, your pathway to be a strong man and a leader, right? I see guys at the gas station in the passenger seat. First of all, their wife are driving and the wife get out and put gas in the car. To me, that's not courtesy. If I get out and put gas in the car, that's something I should do to make sure my wife are safe. It's safer for her to be in the car than me in the car. So I'm going to get out the car and put gas in the car. So again, you know, it's more than just being courteous, you know, and these little things does adds up, and it push you to be a better person, like not being selfish, looking out for your family, right? You want to add something to that, Mr. Maka?
No, I agree. I agree. A lot of stuff that manly things, man don't do that anymore, and sometimes the woman plays a part into that too, because sometimes a man is trying to be courteous, and a woman will say, "Well, you think I'm weak,"
Right.
that kind of stuff. So guys don't do it anymore. So I mean, I think primarily we bear the brunt of the faults, but women in the minority has contributed somehow to it too. You know.
Right, right. I understand that. And that comes with society, but in the home, if I come to the door, I'm gonna take out the keys and open the door for me to get into the house. My wife not gonna say no. I'm gonna do it. I'm like, I got this. But on the street now, like you said, you open the door for somebody. They're like, I didn't ask you to open the door for me.
Exactly.
So of course, but that's society, because some of these women been abused so much, they don't know how to take kindness.
I don't, maybe you're right. It's society, and it depends on the geographical location, because New York is a horrible place when it comes on to courtesy. Hey, good morning. Mother effer, what's so good about the morning?
Right.
You said the same thing in the South. Hey, hi. Oh, thank you very much. It's a cultural thing sometimes too, and it depends on where you are, which is sad. It is sad, because as we're saying this, a man must just be a man.
Right.
And yes, it takes more than just a common courtesy and opening a door for a woman, but it's part and parcel of being a man. Take the lead, take the initiative. But you know what's missing from society? Discernment. People should learn that word. I don't think the average person knows what discernment is. They can't decipher what is BS and what is facts. And people go to a fact checker. You believe that? They go to a fact checker.
And who's this fact checker?
Person who is paid, or a company who is paid to maintain a certain narrative. That's what it is.
So Mr. Barnett,
Yeah.
from what I said about, it's, to me, it's a little bit more than courtesy. It's like part of my role as a man. How do you feel about that?
No, well, listen to me. If you love the woman, I mean, if it's your wife, you love her. That's good to go get ahead and show her how nice you are to her and treat her, because not wrong with even making her, even open the door for her. That's good, she feel good about that, and a lot of women love that, at least you're showing her a high level of respect, or you appreciate her, and you want her to feel comfortable as a woman, you know what I'm saying? So you open the door for her. Some men who have money and them rich, them have chauffeur. And if you notice, the chauffeur always open the door for the woman. Even the man too, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a level of respect also you're showing, and you're showing your love to her, that's it, you know what I'm saying? But as what Dan was saying, and another part again, you have some woman, them not care if you want to do it or not. Then we tell you point blank, it's all right, you can close the door. You understand? And worse, if she ever upset her one day. Last week, I can tell you what happened to me last week. I was in Manhattan, and where the car was parked, it was so tight. And the lady said something to me. The driver and her, it seemed like another older lady. And I'm helping her, said, oh, just reverse a little more. And the lady in the passenger seat turned to me and said, she know how to drive, man. And I'm saying, okay, I'm sorry, please.
But yeah, I got that. But at least you step up to do what a man should do, right? But it's the thing when we stop doing what we should do as men, and that's where I think things start getting, kind of faded out. If we stop opening the doors, because not only for my wife, if I'm at
Any
a store
woman,
and somebody
any woman,
walking
yeah.
out, I'll open the door for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just for a woman, I'll open the door. For a man, he's on his own, right?
Yeah, but guess what? We all have mothers and sisters and thing. The question is, don't you want your sister to be respected or your mother to be respected any which way? It doesn't have to come from you, from anybody, because you're not gonna be there all the time. But you just like to know that your wife, sister, or niece was going into a place and someone was courteous enough to open the door for her. That's fine.
Right.
She's like that.
Let me share something with you guys, right? And this is a real story, right? Two of my co-workers was working, and one of the co-workers, like, you don't even know how to turn a wrench. If you get a flat, what you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna call a tow truck. All right. If you need a light bulb change in your house, you can't change it. I'm gonna call a electrician. How come when your wife needs service, what you gonna do? So these are so again, you got money only gonna take you so far, right?
Well, if you notice, what does that mean? Even today, I just said that in today's society, you have some men now, are women too. They come up with arguments about swapping husband or swap wife.
Yeah.
So some man, I'd say, all right, she go over to my friend tonight, and his wife come over to me. So all of them things that happen. So it's your society has changed.
Well,
Yes.
as I said originally, man is full of himself, and he thinks he knows it all. He even believes that he makes himself. You understand? When you see man doing all kind of trying to change sex and all this kind of stuff, that's just him believe that he knows more than the creator.
Right.
But I think too again, Dan and John, is that I will go back and say a lot of these things should be taught in the home first. Like for instance, you have your son. You go out, you could say to your son, open the door for your mother, open the door for your mother. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of
Yeah.
start to take a root inside of him. You understand?
Practice
Yes.
makes perfect. Yeah.
Right. And so our children not been taught a lot of things, so they don't know how to express and do certain things. When I was growing up, even though I didn't grow with a father, but you couldn't come out to your yard and pass somebody and not say good morning. They themselves turn around and say, boy, what, you lost your manners. Where's your manners? Almost question.
Most.
You don't even hear those words much used again about manners and honesty much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you used to grow up and they say manners carry through the world.
Because
Yep.
all that has been taken away, the courtesy and the manners and the respect has been taken away. Because
Right.
now, if you try to scold a 7-year-old, he's gonna tell you about yourself.
Right.
You
You
know.
know?
So all that has been taken away, and again, you have single parents that has kids, and these ladies, they're at work, so they really don't have time to watch over their boys. Plus, they don't know what it's like to be a man, to bring them up as men, and the uncles and stuff don't step in to help.
And government is taking away parental rights.
Right.
That's a big thing.
Exactly.
In Washington, D.C., they passed a law where a child, I think, younger than 11 years old can take a vaccine without parental knowledge, and is advised not to tell the parent.
And
Go figure. But that child, if that same child was to go and smoke marijuana at 11, then the parent could be charged.
they're going to get locked up. And also to add to that, we used to get a beating. You don't
Yeah.
listen and you don't follow direction, you get a beating. Now, if somebody beat a child, they're about to get locked up.
Right.
know.
You understand?
So,
So a girl can get pregnant and they are being told you don't have to ask your mother if you have abortion.
right.
You understand?
So you
Just
see where
do
the
it.
problem. You see where the problem come back. You see the problem. I've always been saying the problem. What is the root cause of the problem? It starts with a G and ends with a T.
So,
Because normally, Well, not normally. But how does other people? I've been asking this question and nobody can answer it. Nobody can challenge it. Nobody can give me an answer. These are just regular people like you and I. They are human beings. They're not superpower. They're not some representative of God that they can't die. They have pain. They breathe oxygen. They're human beings, simply human beings. You, all three of us, individually can't do certain things. And if we can't do it individually, we still can't do it collectively, whether it's 100 million people or 20 people. We can't do it. But how is it done on a daily basis?
Guns and guns,
No, it's one thing. The superstition,
fear
most
and
dangerous.
guns.
No, the belief in authority. And when I say authority, I'm not just saying parental authority. The belief in authority. That is the problem we have. And of course, authority is good, but it's the belief in it has become a religion.
Like you said earlier, we were into
Indoctrinated.
it, right?
Yeah.
So from birth, we get all these training. How to sit, how to stand, how to talk. How to move. Or you
Right.
get in this
Like
type of
last week.
trouble.
Yeah, like last week, and just earlier I said it to my son and my wife. I mean, how do you get to call a guy honorable? For example, a judge. Why am I standing when he gets inside? Oh, it's respect. Why does he respect me? Why, when I come in, why don't he stand up for me? What makes him different than me? It's
Right.
just a mental construct that man set up for himself.
Yes. It's
And honorable. And some of these guys are the most big, the criminals. They're the biggest criminals. And we have been conditioned to emulate criminals and celebrate criminals. Columbus. You have holidays after all of these criminals.
right.
All
You
of them.
you know what also that I learned as a kid from my parents growing up. A man is good as his word.
Yeah.
A man stand behind his word. Nowadays we don't have that. If a man say I'll come by your house tomorrow, he's not even going to show up, and he's not even going to call you, and that he doesn't follow his word. A man say I'll buy your car, I'll bring the cash tomorrow, we have a deal, and then it fall through. He doesn't call, the deal doesn't work. So nowadays a lot of men doesn't stand by the word. So again, the saying say a man is as good as his word, right? And today is just all about false belief, and I'll say something for the moment, but I'm not going to follow through. And again, it has to do with the upbringing in the family. If your parents say, "Hey, did you do this?" and you said, "I'm going to do it," and you don't do it, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get a beating for that. So again, a lot of things start from the family, the upbringing of the kids. Even like the fashion. If you notice, fashion change over generation, of course,
Right, right.
right? But certain things, in my opinion, it's like it's a part of the problem. Like a man purse. Why do a man need a purse?
Well, therein lies the rub. A purse is for a woman. Anything else is not a purse.
They call it a man purse now, right? So you want to carry your pad and your lipstick in there.
So you have is there a woman condom?
I'm not sure about that. There
Hey,
might be.
but see men going to the. I mean, you go and get a manicure and pedicure, nothing wrong. But when you start to put on the nail polish and I mean, so men now doing all of that. So you might see a woman, you might see a man, and probably you never see the face, but you see the finger, and you see that nail polish or some additional nail. You might think it's all a woman that is realizing that's the man. You know what I'm saying?
And they're wearing weave too. They weave. They're adding weave to their hair.
Right, right.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, you have men that wear weave. So you think they have dreads and long hair? It's actually weave, just like
And
the
they are
ladies.
making And they're also making clothes and what they call it, unisex.
Yeah.
Last
Well,
week, 2 weeks ago, I got to a place, I think at Macy's, and I saw this thing and I said, well, I like this shirt, but how it looks so? And the man said to me, oh, it's unisex. I said, I said, no, I don't want to wear nothing but unisex.
you know why we're unisex? Well, look at the pants, the tights that
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
wearing. Again, you know, men want to take over the fashion. The woman looks so good in it that men feel like they could look better by wearing the same thing. You know, and of course, I have a son, right? So I kind of let him know, certain things you don't need to be a part of, especially like the man purse. You have a wallet. You don't need to carry nothing else. Anything that you want to take with you should fit in your wallet. A woman have a purse because they have a lot of accessories and different stuff that they use that they need. But we as a man, we don't need all that. All you need is your two hands to be free and your wallet in your pocket, right? So again, with the fashion, we see the changes as the generation changes. We see the fashion change, and it's
I'm putting something in the chat. I don't know if you could play it, Viper,
okay.
or you could link to it and show it on the screen. I don't know if you can. You see it?
No, I don't see it. I don't see it on my end.
I just
Okay.
put it in the private chat.
Oh, in a private chat. Let me see if I could pull it up. If it's in a private chat, let me see if I click on it. Okay, what I got to do, all right, I'm going to see if I could save the link. All right, let me see if I could save the link. And if I could save the link, you know what? I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it and see
Where
if I
have
could
all
put
the
it up.
men gone? I think a lot of them has gone trans. So we lose in that battle too.
All
Well,
right, yes.
well, I think we are all the men gone first. It starts from in the thinking. That's where it starts, in the
Yeah.
mind. So once the mind gone, once you don't think like a man, that's where it is. So thinking make you who you are. As a man thinketh, so is he. So if a man don't think like a man, even though he has the physiques of a man, you see what I'm saying, Dan?
Yeah.
Because his mindset is not there as a man. So you have to think like a man. Then you function like a man. Every car have a certain engine, and if the engine doesn't function the way it's supposed to, then hey, no matter how much you press the gas, you understand? So the engine have to operate based on how the maker make it, put in the right gas, the oil, and everything, the spark plug. So man was made to function as a man, but if in his mind he thinks something different, that's where it is, in the mind, in the thinking. You understand?
Right. Yeah. But nowadays I believe it's more than a thinking, man.
No, but that's there, so it starts, John. It's in the mind.
Yeah,
If you,
it's in
a man say, I was born this way. Oh, come on. That's
yeah.
where it starts.
Right, but it's also conditioned. That's how they've been trained. So your mind, again, it's in the mind, like you said, but that's the early training from a young age, the
Right.
condition,
So the mind take it. You believe what you believe. Somebody else tell you, and you are brainwash you then. And you follow what you hear, and you believe it,
right.
and you act it out. Because it's so. If I think Dan said earlier, if you hear a lie, I think Hitler did it, And they say Hitler said, if you keep telling a lie over and over again and again, once the people hear it, they start to believe it and accept it.
That's the truth. Yeah.
So it's the mind. Once the mind pick it up and get it in there, You just start to play it out. I was then, your Lady Gaga sing the song. I was born this way.
Yeah, but
I'm in room
it's
with it.
it starts in the mind. I totally agree. But it's the encouragement that you get from society, and every time people encourage you, and you start to believe the lie.
Right.
That's the thing. John, can you? Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying
can
to
you?
pull it up, but it doesn't give me a link for it. I got the link and I seen it, but I'm trying to get it to the main screen. So give me a second. I'm still see how I could bring it to the main screen, cause it doesn't. Let me see if I could try something else. Right. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm working on it. Right. But again, so if it's starting in mind, what we need to do, what could we do to start changing society anyway? How these kids are pretty much taught nowadays.
Well, the world is changing enough, and it is constantly changing. I'm gonna say something. You remember Barack Obama, right? And all due respect to the first black president, but when in the interview coming up to the election, and they asked him the question about two men married, and he tell them that, he believed that as a man and a woman should marry, he believe that, and based on his belief in Christianity, because he spent 20 odd years with Reverend Jeremiah Wright at his church. But there was a time after now, this first election, he promised them, himself, listen to the LGBT community. He said, when you vote for me this time, I'm going to make sure you get what you want. And
Right.
then after, when he became president, he never signed it for them. And then going into the second part now of the election, the next election, Joe Biden, the sitting president now, said, oh, well, we need to love who you want to love. You understand?
Right.
And then when Obama come on now, Obama say, yeah. Oh, they asked him another interview, and they say, yes, because I have evolved.
And there lies the rub again.
The
Man
leader,
telling you, well, there you go, leaders. Those are
yeah,
not leaders. Those are criminals. They're
the
not
leader
leaders.
said I have evolved.
Yeah, of course, because again, they all have an agenda, and the agenda is not about the people that they so-called serve. They don't. So that is no surprise because they're just puppets and people are pulling their strings. They're money strings that is being pulled. Can you guys see my screen?
I could see the next screen. I could bring it up. Right. So
Oh,
you
bring
want?
it up.
I'm bring up the next screen. There we go.
That's my screen.
Yeah, that's your next screen. Yeah, you just open an additional browser.
All right, hang on a second. Tell me if you can see now. What are you seeing?
It's just black.
It's black.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't know why.
Okay, so you're still on the screen. Pretty much, I still could see you on the screen. You're still on the screen, all three of us, and then you have an additional screen that you just open.
Right,
Right.
I'm trying to show something on my screen.
Right.
Not seeing it.
Yeah, because it's a link, right? It's a link. Once you open that, then pretty much, it's gonna show a couple screen.
Yeah. All right, let me get out of that then. 'cause
All right.
that's-
So I could just remove you from this screen, and that would disappear.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'll remove you. All right. So we back on
Yeah. The link
Right.
I sent you, were you able to open it?
I open it, but because it's a link, I can't add a link. I could add a video. I would have to convert it to a video and then add it
okay.
in, right? But I can't add a link on this platform. I'm trying. Maybe there is a way, but I haven't did it as yet. So I got to
Right.
figure that out too, how to add a link. I'm still trying, right? But again, so Mr. Barnett, you was mentioning about the president. The president came and make this came and agree that it's okay now for a, same sex to marry.
And
Right.
listen, hold on, Ricardo. And guess what? That's fine because that's his opinion. People should not believe. People should have their own choice and their own discernment. And people should recognize when garbage is being spilled, not because it come from a black man and he's the first president. That's the thing. Again, people worshiping people. The personality thing. Oh, I like him. Why you like him? Oh, he's black. He's the first president. Who cares? Still a criminal. All of them. Every one
Right.
of them. Every one of them. And this is what where we are today because people are believing in these people and saying, well, because the president and him and the president and my party, because him said that, then it must be right. But what do you say as a human being, as a man? What is you saying? It shouldn't change.
Right. Yeah, well, I could tell you it hasn't changed for me.
It will never change for me.
Right.
And I know I'm gonna catch myself in problems because if I say a man, I'm gonna call him a man. I don't care how much makeup he has on and how much high heels he's in. I don't care. He's a man.
Exactly. If you dress up like a cop, doesn't make you a cop in today's world, right?
Exactly. There you go.
You know,
Well, very good example. Exactly.
right. So, that's again the way how society are pretty much converting everybody to be sensitive and, taking away people's personality, and now allow or with me, right? You could be whatever you want to be, as long as you don't come into my space and try to force it on me.
They're not. They can't. But how do they do it? Via what? Government.
Right?
There you go.
You know,
That's it. I could see Levi tomorrow, and he could say, "Hey, tomorrow his name is Rachel." He could say anything. I'm
Right.
not gonna be mad at him. He feels that way, and I just move on. I just recognize him as having a mental illness, and he needs help.
Right.
But now I could get myself into legal problems, by just recognizing something that is the obvious. That is the problem we have today. And the problem we have also is a number of problems. But people need for men to be men need to stand up and be counted and have your own discernment. Cut your own path and you follow it, irrespective of what social media, politicians, church, or society in general says. That's what true men do. Yeah, I hear you, man. You say today you're Ricardo and tomorrow you're Rachel. I hear you. But nothing has changed. You're still Ricardo.
Right. Yeah. Nothing has changed in our
So
eyes.
is the influence, and people subject themselves to these influences from the various media outlets, propaganda outlets, pretty much, and politicians, and even pastors. Nobody can have discernment. You can listen to the pastor, but you must know when the pastor talking crap. Because when some people book, it's like some of their favorite politician is never wrong, and pastors are never wrong. It's like some people, their parents are never wrong.
And
Can that be?
and some of these pastors too, they are pretty much under order to do certain things, to conduct a certain things, or again they end up in some legal troubles.
Yes.
So
Yes.
again, is the government putting pressure and restrain and training people how they want them to be. And
Yeah,
one of
but-
the reason why behind it, because most of these leaders are not men's anymore.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Well said. Well said.
So if
'Cause-
they're not men's anymore, they don't want nobody to be men also. So let's
Because I'm gonna put this to the audience and to everybody. What's the difference between legal and moral? Because a lot of times I hear people say, well, it's law, it's legal. What exactly is law? What exactly is morality? And which is most important? Law or morality?
well, for me, in my eyes, morality rules.
Pastor Burnett?
Well, I must bring in Martin Luther King again. Because they say he was even at the speech at Washington, D.C., and man announced him and said, now we present you with the moral leader of America, Dr. Martin Luther King, the moral leader. In other words, he said it as it was, as it is. Because he came up with a thing where called civil disobedience. So yes, the government might say it right, but he said no. You understand? That's what you said. But on the flip side of it, it is wrong. So I can disobey what you said.
He says that any law that is immoral should be disobeyed.
Right.
Martin Luther.
Well, that's 99 out of the 100.
That's why I was saying to you that in every generation you have a leader come rise up. So
But we
someone
don't need.
just stand up.
Do we really need leaders?
Well, listen to me. You are a leader, Don.
No, I'm not.
I mean, whether you think it or not, or accept it, because in your household, I mean, whether your son look up to you or your wife expect certain things of you.
I set
And,
example.
and God created it that way, because even among the animals, you realize even among the kingdom, the animal kingdom, you have, what them call king of the jungle and all that, you know.
Yeah, but
You have,
look what we have today with so-called leaders. Look at the mess of the world with so
I
many leaders.
understand that corrupt leaders, good, but you always just like a company, you work with a company, which you used to work at a company. You always have, why they have managers and general manager and supervisor and come down the line. You see what I'm saying? But it's just that people corrupt with what they do, because they don't even understand the role of what they're supposed to do to.
So if man is innately corrupt, why then have them lead you?
Well, we have to
This is
find a
like
way to
fla-
get to that end.
this is like flogging a dead horse, or insanity doing the same thing the same way, expecting different results.
Well, we
That's
have
the
to find
thing.
a way to get to that end then.
No, we don't get rid of anybody. I don't know if we get rid of people. I just want people to be conscious and realize that they
So what I mean,
themselves
get rid of them. I mean, get to that leadership then and find a
ignore
different way then.
ignore them out of existence. Ignore them out of existence because they're just man. They
Well,
are
you have,
just man.
yeah. So I guess we have to come up with a plan and show people how it can be done. That we don't have that.
Yeah, well, we need conscious people. We need people to have discernment. We need people to own themselves and realize that I am a sovereign human being. I am me. You understand? And nobody owns me. And as long as you're not doing anything that is injurious to any human being, you're free to do whatever you want to do. Hey, if you want to jump off the Empire State Building, tough, that's your thing. Now, if you don't have the right to take something into your body, whatever that something could be, no matter how dangerous it is, and you're not hurting anybody. Well, some people could argue that if you take it, you might die and you might hurt your family because you might be the only breadwinner of the family. That's another catch-22. But I'm saying, if you don't have that right, then to say, okay, you own a house, and at the back of your house, you go and plant a certain tree, and then other men, just like you, decide that no, you can't plant that tree. And if you plant that tree, we're gonna cage you. Not just destroy the tree, no, but cage you, take away your freedom. Who gives them that right? No, collectively or individually, we can't do that to our neighbors, right? You can't go over to your neighbor and say, boy, I see you with a papa tree. I don't like it, I'm gonna lock you up. You get some real knock up the head.
Right.
So if I don't have that right, therefore Ricardo don't have that right. John, you don't have that right. 100 million people in your community don't have that right. How then can we give such a right and that power that we don't have to an individual? Nobody can answer me that question.
Well, yeah, what happened? The only question, I mean, the only thing because it's to try to answer you, because I'm gonna have to talk to the world, but to answer you, because you already have a set way I mean, in terms of leadership. But the only closest thing I could say to you right now is that we were born into the world and we see it happening. So we came here and saw it, that men were in leadership. I mean, I don't know, I was born in 1961, but I came and I heard that there were leaders before our Paul Bogle was leading the rebellion, Sam Sharp led the rebellion, you know what I'm saying? Hitler was around and all of those men from the Bible and all this. So how do we go about then changing all that was there before? No, then I go back and learn that democracy started not in America, not in England, but the Greek system in Greece through Plato and Aristotle and Socrates. These guys came up with ideas, you know, in terms of democracy and different things to and put the ruling class, how the ruling class came about and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole history.
Right.
Gone way back. So we have to dismantle those things. We have to go back then and dig up all of these things and find a way to dismantle these things. Cuba next door us in Jamaica. I mean, we see Castro rise up on that time and get out Batista and rule Cuba for how many years till him die, you know what I'm saying? Till now, in brotherhood.
And why was he able to do that? You see, what we have is mental slavery, as Bob Marley advised against that. We're mentally enslaved. We're mentally enslaved because we're believing, okay, we're born into this world and we see what's happening. Not because it's happening doesn't mean that it's right or moral. It's just like rape. We born come here, man raping woman. Or rape, period, because rape is man raping man too, and raping kids and all kind of stuff. It's been here for 100 gazillion years. Still don't make it right.
No, it's not right.
But if we are going to change anything and says let's improve society in general, we first have to, we cannot apply band-aid treatment. That's the thing with modern day medicine. It's similar. You treat the symptom, not the root cause. You go to doctor, boy, doctor have a headache. Before you even finish headache, write your prescription. He doesn't care about the root cause because he wants you to come back. That's how he makes his money. So it's just like you want to fix your roof is leaking. Do you just go tape up a side of the roof that is not leaking just because you think it's leaking? No, you're going to go to where the leak is and try to fix it. Maybe you can't patch it. Maybe you have to repair the whole roof. That's what is needed today. So man being absent in society is a symptom of exactly other stuff, because there are other stuff that is making this happen. It's not evolving naturally. Men don't just get up. Why is, okay, here it is. Why not all men of the world just say, I feel like I'm a woman? Why not? Why is just a minority amount? Why? So why does the dog doesn't say he feels like he's a cat? Why doesn't he meow like a cat? Everything that is happening is because of man interference. It's always us.
Right.
Because we behave like we know it all.
Right.
And what we don't know, we tell lies about. We make up stuff. Because, you know, I'm professor and I know it and I'm bright and I have all kind of stuff behind my name. And that's the thing with humanity. And that's why Facebook exists. Dopamine. People like likes. People like to be applauded. We all do. Oh my God, he's great. He's a great leader. What makes him great? Oh, he talks nice. Probably talking a lot of crap.
Right.
But oh my God, he's so eloquent. Eloquent for what? What is he saying? I've been to church and hear pastors say all kind of garbage and people say hallelujah. Amen.
Right.
Because what? They hear everybody saying hallelujah and amen.
Everybody just join in. It's just
join in.
A parroting. Right.
Parroting. And exactly what we have today. Parroting. See, one man see a guy box a woman or slap a woman, he thinks it's okay. But boy, a woman must be draped up and must beat her up, make she respect you.
Right. As you say that too, right? I just want to add that, and that's what's missing in today's world too, that man doesn't step up. There's incidents on the train, on the bus, everywhere you go, you see a man beating up a lady, and other man is just videotaping, trying to put it on social media, and nobody steps up to stop this from happening.
How about raping a woman on a public train, and
And
nobody stand up?
everybody just videotaping it for show,
That's how rotten society has become.
right? And that's where a man would step up and put himself on the line to protect innocent victim of a
And
crime.
because of certain laws, men now think twice. Because if they step in, they could be charged. That's the reality.
Right.
We
Well,
have
I think
we have become so feminine now that they have anti-bullying laws. Man, when we were growing up, bullying was a part of it. But I don't think a lot of anybody had died from bullying. It's just people just ragging on you. But now, man, on social media, oh my God, you could be charged if you say certain things.
right.
I mean, people are so sensitive. Sensitive. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Well, listen, as Johnny Cash music said, this world is tough and you got to be rough.
Right. No, man, you say a certain thing to certain kids, they go home and kill themselves.
And then you get charged.
Exactly, because no, it's bullying to that level where people are so sensitive. And the law, like you said, protects them and let them even be more sensitive.
Make them victims. Make them victims.
Victims when they're not really no victims.
Marky, as always, laws sometimes have good intentions. Good intentions. But that's where the danger lies. Good intentions. Because people always take it to do something else. Always take it to do something else. What kind of society we have where you can't really talk rough to a kid no more? I mean, it's abuse. Of course, there's abuse. Abuse, yeah, abuse. There's abuse, yes. That's a thing. Of course, people abuse people every day. But sometimes, man, a little tough love after work.
Right. You see, when I was growing up, there was a common saying like, "Stop act like a girl."
Yeah. You
Yeah,
whine like a
don't-
girl.
Yeah, you whine like a girl. Don't be a girl. Be a man. You say that in today's time, it's a
offensive.
problem.
It's offensive,
It's
yeah.
offensive, and you are a bully for you saying that. You shouldn't use those type of words.
Yeah.
So again, society is changing. The
Society
masculinity of a
change,
man.
yeah.
Right. And it's,
No, but we are allowing society to change because when you look at it, there's a minority of people who are doing this. And again, truth is truth, even if one person believe it, and lies a lie, if even a million person believe it. This is the thing. I mean, you could watch social media, watch TV, and they could say anything. You look at Bruce Jenner, a man who said he became a woman, and on that year, what did he get? He gets an award. He gets an award for the year. Award for the year. For
for
doing
being the
what?
best woman.
For being for being an idiot, a mental ill patient. That's what he got the award for. When there are other genuine women that are doing far better than him.
Right.
So this is the madness, and nobody calls it out. Some people
Right.
call it out, but the average person don't call it out. So one of the biggest thing people need to do is forget about social media and get off of that crap. Get off of the CNNs and the the nothing but crap stations,
Right.
because that's all they do.
Okay, we finally got Anthony backstage, so I'm gonna bring him up front. I know he's been busy working, so let me just get him on stage. Good evening, Mr. Anthony. How you doing?
Doing well, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
I'm pretty
Yeah,
good,
man,
Anthony.
good.
What's up?
Pretty good. So we have Mr. Barnett on with us tonight, right? So I'm not sure if you've been listening to the discussion so far. I know you've been working, so again, just want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, definitely, man. I'm just sorry for coming in so late, gentlemen. Mr. Barnett, it's nice to meet you, sir. Mr. Mecca,
Yeah,
it's
man.
always a
Yes,
pleasure.
sir.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm blessed in between jobs, many jobs. So, but my daughter had state testing, so that was the reason why my wife works a late shift tonight. So, you know how the system have us keeping us busy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I've been listening, John. I've been catching a few here and there. Excuse the darkness. I'm in the truck, but uh, I've been listening, man. It's sounds like an interesting.
Yeah, we just lost you. I guess you're driving and yeah, your signal is not that great. Yeah. So we just lost Anthony. So while he try to get back online, I'm gonna run a commercial real quick. And then we're gonna continue this conversation. Give Anthony a chance to get back in.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So for everybody out there, we're looking for sponsors, and if you want to advertise with us, let us know. Right now, we pretty much streaming to over 90 different countries, right? So get your brand out there, get your stuff noticed, right? So pretty much, give me a link and I'll set it up for you, right? So, you could get your advertisement. We on live 7 days a week. So we could definitely get your product and whatever you advertisement out to the public, right? So give us a link. I'll put that information on the screen before the end of the show. All right.
Yeah.
So Mr. Anthony, could you hear
Yes,
us?
sir.
All right. Yeah. Sorry about it. I know your internet wasn't that great, but I think you're good now. So you could go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. I heard the discussions. A lot of good points from all you gentlemen. Mr. Mecca, as always. My belief is the time has changed. So I could honestly say that. Can you hear me clear?
I could hear now. Sorry.
I'm not sure. Is it in the genes, the genetics, or what it is when it comes to the generation that we are in? It's quite confusing, and you can be discombobulated and things that you don't know. I mean, like Mecca said, the government is allowing a lot of things that they didn't before. So
Also, okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Right. So you said it's in the genes, right?
I
The
would
blue
say
jeans?
so. I would say they have to be born. I would say that the government must have possibly did something to the children as they come out of birth when they start their injections and doing stuff. They change a lot of stuff. You don't know what they're injecting your child with these days. So maybe they're injecting them with female hormones or something. I'm talking about the male figure or the females. They're injecting them to where they want to be boys. I don't know. I don't have a problem with whatever they choose to do, but I know spiritually it's not the right way on doing things. That's not what the Almighty would prefer. He made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Hopefully somebody should have said that already. I just know that I'm praying. I'm definitely praying for our world right now. I'm praying for good health. I'm praying for wisdom, knowledge, strength,
Okay.
all of
Let
the
me
above, because
right.
Lord knows we need it.
Let me ask you a question, Anthony. Right? I know you have a son, right? As a father, as a man, What direction, in today's society, would you explain to us which direction are you giving him to be a man of the future?
I'm giving my sons the direction of being a man, being what I saw and taught was the right way, which is a man takes care of his home by any means necessary, giving them the key of life is knowledge. Read, always read as much as you can, even though I wasn't very fundamental about reading. I found out later on that it was very important, but I'm giving him the direction of working hard for what you want out of life, because nothing comes easy, and if it comes easy, you will not appreciate it. And if you have a woman that you desire and you guys spend an X amount of years together and time, it's something that you cannot get back. So you can get back money, you can get back cars, all materialistic thing, but my time is very essential. And if I give you my time, I would expect nothing but the best.
Right. When it comes to like hands-on, I know you're pretty much of a hands-on guy. I see you work in your yard, fixing up your fence, working on cars. I know you do tattoos. I see you do many things, right? Are you having your son a part of that, or he's not really involved?
My sons have the opportunity to do anything that they feel is let me rephrase that. A lot of men can't. It took me a minute, John, to be able to be who I am today. It wasn't overnight, and he's still working on me, and to be honest with you, I see the generation is nothing like what it was when I was growing up. I didn't have Apple cell phones or Samsungs or none of that. I had to go outside and ride my bike and play, and then I would be around my father and his friends on my down in Vernon by the mechanic shop, watching them wrench on cars, and I learned. I'm from the old school, so I give them the opportunity. I give them the tools. Now, for them to pick it up, that's up to them, because I definitely don't want to force them as an individual to do something that they have no desire.
Right.
But I do give them the opportunity to say, hey, would you like to be a part of this? And if they take to it, they take to it. If they don't, they don't. A lot of these kids these days, like someone spoke earlier, they're all about the video games. They're all about a girlfriend. It's kind of actually hard. My young boys, I have control over, but like my oldest kids, it's kind of hard for them to see things the way I see it, because the lifestyle has definitely changed. The tight jeans, the man bags. I'm used to carrying a wallet. I don't know about a man bag, so.
Right. I think I want to see you in a man bag, man. A woman purse, or man purse, or how you call it, right?
My purse, anything now. Hey, if it's not a backpack, it's not gonna be on my back.
I got you. One of the reasons why I did ask you, when I know like time changed, things different. When I was growing up, I was actually, you could say forced to clean the yard. It wasn't a choice for me to clean the yard or not. I was forced. If I don't clean the yard, I would get a beating and probably get no food till I clean the yard or do my chores. Pretty much, if my dad is doing something, he would definitely have me beside him, chopping wood or building a fence. It wasn't an option. And I feel like a lot of times in our society, or the society right now, we're not taking the opportunity to tell our kids, this is what I want you to do right now. We give them options. And when they go to school, they don't have no options. They're getting taught by the government, this is what you should do. But if you have your kids in your home, I think sometimes by being parents is to separate some of that, giving them options.
And I feel that you are 100% right. We are giving them options, and that is one of my. I must say, gentlemen, I'm guilty, because if I ask my child to do something and he does not do it the right way, I don't, instead of sitting there and forcing them, because it's hard to say force right now, because once again time has changed. So you can verbally abuse, you can physical abuse, you can overwork your child, you can sit there and tell them things, and next thing you know, the police is at your front door because they're not doing what you're asking them to do.
Right.
And they're interpreting it the wrong way. So when I tell my son, okay, this is how we want to do this, and I want to do this way today, he'll come and he'll say, okay, possibly, okay, Dad, okay, whew, I'm tired. I'm like, boy, eat your Wheaties. Your testosterone is way more than mine. You understand? Come on, huh? You know, I'm out here 40 plus, and you guys are like younger than me, and how are you tired? You know, I feel what you're saying is 100% right. We are basically handicapping our own generation, excuse me, because we feel that we can't force them. I definitely feel like I can't force nobody to do it. If they don't do it, you know what I do? I get up and I do it myself.
Right. You want to add something to that, Maka? I know you have a son also, right?
Me, man, I think you're right all the way around. But no, I'm old school. I'm old school. You know, it's gonna be done, and it's gonna
It's
be
gotta be
done
done.
right. Yeah, in a story, man. Because hey, listen, in this life, you come to an obstacle, you don't turn back. You learn to go over it or go around it. That's what life is made. You know, they said that diamonds is shaped from friction, and it takes years to make a diamond. They said 1,000+ years or gold or something like that. So life gives you challenges, and yeah, you have to learn to take a lemon and make lemonade. That's what it is. You know, you gotta sometime, even with challenges and exercises, it's the same thing. You're doing a rep and you reach to a point where to fail, you gotta push through. You're running a lap, running a mile, you gotta learn to push through. That's how you win. That's how you win. If every time you just give up and find an excuse, that's for me. I run in the mornings, cold mornings. Doesn't matter. I'm running. I do 8 laps. That might be 2 miles, but guess what? The first lap, the mind says, "Why are you doing this? Do it tomorrow."
Right.
And of course, you're not running for anything. You're not a track star. But when you push through and you reach that number 8, I mean, you walk away feeling like you've conquered, like you've achieved something. Because what is life without goals, and not just goals, but achieving goals? What's the sense in having What's the sense in having goals if you can't achieve them?
Useless.
Yeah.
I think one of the things to it, as Antonio was saying, I mean, he told his son to do something, and the son know, and he know go and do it. So that gives the son more strength. Next time him say, "Oh, you know, not going to do it in a coming. No, that they have to do it." You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I think you're right, Mr.
So
Barney.
that now becomes a part of his mindset. It's like you sculpt something, and so after a while, the father will have to start to live with that, because the son now already is like he know how to manipulate. I have a certain button what to press.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
And going back to what Dan says, the old school, because you notice, like for instance, in Jamaica, when we were growing up, even among the Rasta, when the Rasta movement started, Rasta said, no more meat, no dairy product, no salt, strictly vegetable.
Ital.
And Ital. And then guess what? And your children them come, bam, same thing, because you're not cooking no meat for them. And the man them in just put it in the child. So listen, man, you're Rasta. You know, so your parents, so there are certain characteristics that the child take on from the parent.
Right. Right. So the role of the parents, I mean, that's all we have is in our home to have the control and to teach our kids. What's the saying about save the spoil the child and save the rod, or something like that? What's that saying?
Save the rod. Well,
Right. So we try to love our child by giving them freedom, which is hurting them in the long run. You know, we say we love our child and we're not going to punish them, and then, you know, it hurts them in the long run. So we're hurting the kids more than helping them so they could be responsible and be, leaders and men, right? So pretty much that's just with the in-home thing where parents, a lot of parents been forced by society again to be scared to punish their child, or to, like you said, Anthony, you feel a certain kind of way that you can't do certain things because you could be penalized for it.
Well,
you
see,
know
me, John, I'm not going to give up. That's one thing. I'm never going to give up. I'm not going to give up on none of my kids. I won't. I mean, you have you. It's a delicate situation, man. For God's sake, we're in the United States of America, man. They got the social media. They got stuff. They got these other things that's keeping our kids captive to where they handicap them. You don't even have to handicap your own kids. The social media is handicapping your
the
kids for you.
influences.
Right, influences. It's definitely it makes our job harder than it was that we made it for our parents.
Yeah, true.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I tell him don't do it this way, right? He goes on there, he Googles it, and Google showed him 17 different ways on how to do it easier than the way I taught him to do it.
Right.
Right.
So it's like fighting a losing battle. It's hard. I mean, if you get through, boom, good luck. We got through. But what I'm not going to do is give up on none of my kids or none of them or the youths, period. Because if I have to repeat myself a million times and probably have to take a blood pressure pill because I raised my voice, I'm going to do that because they need to know the proper way and the proper etiquette on doing things the way it should be done.
Right. Definitely agree with that. Keep on trying and keep on teaching. There's a lot of boys out there that don't have a father to teach them the right way. And as you said, the social media, the influence in society right now are pretty much, changing the narrative of what a man's supposed to be. So we do need more men, old school men to teach these young boys. I know Iron to Iron, he has a foundation where he, give these young men, educate these young men and, try them to mold them into proper young men. So we need more stuff like that in our society where we could, help these kids. These kids need some directions and some, some education and also hands-on. Back in the days, you used to have trade school, electrical, mechanical, woodwork, masonry. Nowadays, you don't really see that much.
Yeah, you don't do it.
So you could go to school and get a hands-on training on how to, work on wood or metal, and give them some kind of purpose. Nowadays, it's just like video games and the I would say the hands-on stuff are kind of outdated nowadays. It's mostly computer work and stuff like that. So again, if a person is conditioned to be outside, of course he'll be more physically inclined to do more men stuff, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys, can you hear
Another
me?
thing, sorry.
I can
I
hear
heard
you.
that they are coming up with something where they are saying to the children, they are saying, you as the parents mustn't, like a woman have a child, don't let the child know if it's a girl or a boy.
Wha-
You heard that they're
Yeah.
instituting that, right?
Yeah. Again, here's the thing. The truth is the truth, even if one person believe it. And a lie is still a lie if 100 million people believe it. We are why whatever is happening to us continue to happen to us, and it gets worse because again we believe in authority and we follow even to our detriment. And it's madness to say when a child is born, a child is male or female in a story. It's a
Right.
simple, and as my mom always said, life is simple, we complicate it. Because again, man is in his hubris. Man think he knows everything. And man will always come up with all kind of schemes to change stuff. What is Voltaire says? That tyrants are what? Ardent. And they'll do what? Put what? Shackles upon sleeping men. Because if you're sleeping, you're going to be enslaved. And we are all sleeping. Nobody's thinking. Nobody's standing up to say, you know what? Enough is enough. The sun is the sun and the moon is the moon, not the other way around. And the
Right.
sun is hot and not cool like the moon. It is hot. Facts. So we are not. This is the thing with us. Everything that is shoved down our throat, we take it. Oh, why? Because they say so. We just take it. They say so. Who are
Right.
these people? They are human beings like yourself.
It's true. But as Anthony said, rightly said, he tell us when he told his son to do something, the son go on social media and social media tell him 17 ways to do one thing where that him father told him. So him
Well,
tend to lean towards social media. So
well,
we
you
have
see,
we have so many voices speaking to our children.
oh man, it's just one voice. It should be your voice. I mean, you
Yeah.
got one. You're gonna have all kind of influence out there. We grew up in all kind of influences too, all of us. But life is about choices too, and for every choice there are consequences, and we have to make those choices. We have to teach our kids that.
Right.
Plain and simple. It's
You're
my
right.
All right,
it's
question.
my it's my
Do your
hold on.
son have a your son have a phone?
No,
All right. You see that? Now how old is he?
15.
Anthony, how old is your son?
My son, I have several sons. I have my oldest. my
All right,
oldest
the one that you say you're told to do something, and how old is this the last one?
he's 20. He's not the last one. I still have my younger one. No,
Still going strong.
But you
but,
understand, so
but
Dan has a personal, a different way. Oh, 'cause I know Dan good, and I know Dan's son, but Dan and his son seem to have, a father and a son relationship that is so different from other son and father that I know. You get what I'm saying? Dan's son is even being taught at home. Not a teacher doesn't teach him outside of the class in the classroom. So the relationship that Dan and his son have, I tell you, I admire it. It's different. His son is like the two of them brain work together in a sense. So when Dan
Communicate.
speak, when Dan speak from that perspective, it's totally different from another father.
Listen, I'm into tech. Big, that's my thing. But I saw the dark side of tech a long time ago. So I, even my clients, I discourage my clients on a lot of stuff because I see the dark side and the danger of it. It might be cool and it might be convenient, but it's innately dangerous because these things become a part of our lives, and before you know it, it creep up on you. And this is exactly what is happening today. I believe that we should, just like money, you should master money. Don't make money become your master. You should master your tech.
that's
You
right.
understand? And like anything else, there are limits. You must make limits. My
Right.
15-year-old, I'm not, because I'm not trendy, doesn't need a phone. I myself probably looking at getting rid of the stupid tracking device that I have because that's exactly what it is. You understand? We can live, it's not oxygen. We can live without it. We can live without it. We have lived without it.
And
Right.
it's a funny thing, gentlemen, because my 20-year-old who I'm talking about, he's very responsible. Don't get me wrong. Very responsible young man, hardworking young man. He's actually more responsible than my 28-year-old. Now that is the last case. And I'm going to say it because I messed up as a father by not, your presence is very well needed, and I've learned that because I thought that it was just I could take care of them financially. They're gonna know daddy did this, daddy did that. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. We all make that mistake. Yeah.
Hands-on is very, very important, and I will never make that mistake again in life. I'm gonna make sure I interact. I'm gonna make sure. I don't care if you can. I asked my daughter one day. I said, "Baby," I said, "You don't like me, huh?" I said, "You don't like daddy right now." She said, "No, I really don't like daddy." I said, "Okay, I know. I already know." I said, "Because I'm tough, right?" She said, "Yes, but my wife turns around and tell my kids, you know why dad is so tough on you guys, is because he don't want to give up on you guys, and he don't want nobody to treat you guys, expose you guys to something that he hasn't, because I don't want my daughter to see, or my son to see something out there that another woman or another man can purchase for them. And oh my gosh, because these days it's all glitter and gold. I mean, if somebody can show it to, I expose them to the best things in life, so that way when they run up on somebody who tried that, they can say, okay, sure, my pa don't show me about that already, so I'm straight. I'm already used to living the good life. You know what I'm saying? But at that same time, we are handicapping them and spoiling them and giving them ulterior other avenues to squirrel down, because I want to see them happy. But is it wrong? What it is the society, Mr. Maka, like you would say again, the system. We're moving forward with technology and all that, and we know that these things are going to make our children excited, and we want the best for them. We want them to have things that we have never thought about having. So when we see certain things, we do it with a pure heart, not knowing that we are handicapping our kids ourselves.
True. Well said. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true. This is why my mom says to me many times that I'm first your parent, not your best friend.
There
You know,
you go.
you don't have to like what I'm doing, but I'm formulating, I'm giving you, I'm cutting a path for you to follow. Not, it's not gonna be the best of parts because I'm human and I'm not the best of parents. I try my best, but I'm not necessarily the best of parent because I'm human. I make mistakes. But at least she doesn't want you, she can do something and you don't have to like it. But she at that time is gonna decide that it's best for you. So again, technology, and a lot of people we somehow blame stuff. Technology is an inanimate object. It does nothing to us. It's like guns or cars. They can't do anything. It's what we decide to do with them. And the more knowledge we have of the do's and the don'ts, the pros and the cons, the good and the bad, the better choices we are hopefully can make for ourselves and our kids. And one of the things I tell people to do is get off social media. There's nothing social about social media. It's been weaponized. It's been weaponized. Because one would believe that the internet should have been a free box, the talk box, where people could share stuff freely. No, it's been cultured and it's been regulated, so to speak, and what is correct and what is not correct. Now, in a real world, people say what they want to see, even offensively. That's what makes the world. You got dangerous freedom or you have peaceful slavery. Which is it you want? You got to choose. You can't have them both.
Right.
I would choose dangerous freedom because I want to hear what everybody wants to say, no matter how it might sound hideous. Because if I'm going to defend his right to say it, I'm going to defend the man's right to say he wants to worship Satan, although it might, in my opinion, is horrible, but it's his right.
At least you know where he stands and where you do.
Exactly.
It's like Donald Trump. You see them ban Donald Trump from Twitter and Facebook.
Right. Yeah. He's banned. Just before we.
Former president, them ban him from Twitter and YouTube and all, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
I seen that. I think he's still banned, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he's still banned, but he's trying to open up his own platform too.
He's trying to make him his own now. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's how you deal with competition, and I'm for all that. I'm not for none of them because Trump dumped all of them are thief and criminal in my book. Every one of them. Every one of them.
Right.
You understand? It doesn't matter to me. But what he has done, he's not arguing with them. He's saying, hey, I must do my own thing. And that's what most people should do.
Right.
Leave these platforms. Don't war with them. This is their thing. If I come to your house and you demand that I should wear shoes, or I should take off my shoes or whatever, or I should make you rape me before I come into your house, am I going to allow you to rape me? I just don't come into your house. I go to another house or go to my house where I'm welcome.
Right.
So that's how you respond to these censorship.
Right.
Hold on. I want to play. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I play something for just 1 minute and just listen
Sure.
to this? I think it's something that we probably heard before. Listen.
It's not coming true.
It's not coming true?
No.
You're not hearing it?
Not hearing it at all.
Oh man, I don't know.
All right. All right. Since you can't play this time, we're gonna work on it next time. We got to do some back office work and get these stuff working on the fly.
Yeah, man.
Right.
for
But
real.
I just want to ask Mr. Barnett. I know you had a poem, right? Or a song that you write a long time ago, many moons ago. Where
Yeah,
have all
man.
the men's go? Could you share that with us?
Yeah, man. I written this about over 20 odd years ago while I was in Jamaica. And it say, yeah, man. I with the man them there, with the man them there. I with the man them there, with the man them there. They must sit down a GP where them keep bad man. Or they must sit over gun court where them keep gun man. With the man them there, with the man them there. They must sit down a Madden where them keep dead man. Or them down a Maypen where them bury dead man. I with the man them there, with the man them there. They came on a spot man, I watch race.
Right. So 20 years later, we still asking the same question. Where the man them there? Right.
Yes,
Where them
sir.
there, yeah.
Exactly. You know,
But
cause
I think I want to put that on a shirt.
yes.
I would have
Hey,
mind them there.
exactly.
the
Where the
man
man
them
them
there,
there? Right.
yeah.
And
Cause
man, I
Yeah.
tell you, you sell
For those
T-shirts
of
like
you who
that,
don't know
you make money.
GP, it's General Penitentiary. It's a prison on Tower Street, you know?
In Jamaica, and it's real penitentiary, not like the country
Yeah,
club here in America.
right. And gun court was a place where only if you charge for gun.
Gun crimes.
And Madden was a funeral parlor where them keep dead man, you know? And
Yeah.
Maypen is down at Tivoli Garden,
Yes,
next door to
sir.
Tivoli Garden, where all of the bad man them buried.
right.
Cemetery.
So
Yeah.
we're losing men by the guns and by penitentiary and
Yes.
And by social media.
social
Yes.
media.
And by
Yeah.
sodomizing the sodomite them too. And pussy them.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
so
Yes.
And I think that's the biggest one right now.
Yeah.
I think they converting, into this society. A lot of converting going on more than anything else, more than jail, more than, they're converting from men to females.
And we're
yeah, it's
falling for it, hook, line, and sinker.
absolutely, absolutely. And the man that want to be woman, woman want to be man. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Eh,
It's a
eh,
mental
Hey,
illness.
gentlemen, listen, I'm gonna take a little break because right now I'm still doing some work, and I just have to be on the program. So I'm the oxtail finish cook. Sorry, you
all right,
can't get some.
all right,
I
sure,
wonder what
definitely.
kind of work you're gonna do.
Yes. All right. All right. So it's a pleasure to have you on the platform. We're about to close off in a few minutes. We just
Yeah,
going
man.
a little bit longer just because Anthony comes in late. So we're just going to talk to Anthony for a few minutes.
You have to
But
have part two of it.
yes, yeah, we'll continue next week.
You can't
Right.
just lick it. You can't because so much more to cover.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Of
So
course.
I think you need to make the people know. So we have it the next night again.
Yes, and I need to get some woman on the platform to tell us where the man is or what they expect or what they look forward when they
Right,
looking
right,
for a
right.
man. So we
Yep.
definitely going to continue on that next week. So thank you again for being a part of the broadcast, and we will touch base the next time. All
Yeah,
right.
man. One love.
Take one
Bless
love,
and
sir.
peace.
Thank you. Take
Yeah,
care.
All
man.
right, take
All
care.
right, cool.
Ciao.
Sure.
Yes, yes. So that was a nice little uh poem that he wrote many, many years ago. And again, it falls into today's society where the men's are. Men's are taking a back seat to the ladies. You have, women stepping up to the plate more than man is nowadays. Woman is putting herself on the line. I remember there was an incident where this guy was beating up this lady at the train station, and there's a whole bunch of people. No man stepped up. So this lady, she stepped up. She ended up getting stabbed, right? But she stepped up. Where the man was, you had like 20, 30 men on the train, and none of them had the cojones to step up.
Well, you know what? Life hasn't changed much, We always in our generation say things has changed. But the more things change, the more they remains the same because our parents would have said the same thing too. My mom sometimes used to refer to certain men as 2% men. So
Like
from
milk.
them days, from them days, it was showing up that
Right.
something was lacking.
But I think now it's showing up more obvious. When
Yeah.
you see a man getting a flat tire on the highway and he calls for a tow truck and a woman come on the tow truck to change that tire, you know. So
Man.
so those jobs used to belong to men, but now women are taking over those jobs, right? So I think it's showing up more in today's society.
And look,
Yeah.
I have no problem in women doing manly jobs. That's fine by me. Fine, fine. I mean,
Right.
that's fine. But what is absent is where men, true definition of man is absent. And it's not just the physical, it's everything. It's not just the physical, it's morality is absent, it's everything that is absent is gone. Talk about men stepping up. I just said it to Ricardo earlier today when we had a conversation that even in the music, even love music, there was a time when you had a lot of men with lots of love music, hits after hits after hits after hits. None today. Where?
Right. Where have they
Name
went?
one. Name one.
Well, I could go back to my generation or before my
But
generation when you had the Barry Whites and the
Yeah,
yeah,
name a Barry
yeah,
White
yeah,
today. Name a baby face. Name one today.
I can't buy. They got somebody else I call Little Uzi, and I don't know where him is.
little Uzi, right?
Right, Little Uzi and Lil Nas, and one man with a wear tennis shoes with X amount of blood in at the bottom of human blood. I don't know all kind of shit, right? Man, I would say one thing: this the world belongs to the higher power, but the devil is busy.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's trying to get the kids just like the government, cause you know now they approve it in New York. 5 to 11 could get shots now.
Man, that's genocidal. I don't care what nobody says. That is just again we're allowing it. Again, people are. I tell you, this is how mad it is. If these people were to put a bullet in a gun and say it's a vaccine, I'm gonna shoot your child with it. People would say, please do it. Line me up. This is the madness of it. And they call it shot. They call it shot, not me. That's what they say. 90% of the time, if you put 100 men and fire 100 shots to each of them, the possibility of all of them dying is almost 100%. A
Gentlemen,
shot kills.
let me tell you. My wife works in a pharmacy, and she tells me, uh, I don't want to say that to her. I don't want her to be in trouble, but she exposes to me some things that she's worried about. That she looks and she see a lot of children are coming in getting the shot these days. So I asked her, I said, "Are we going to let our kids get the shot?" And she says after they work out the bugs, but she's in no rush because we don't know what they're doing. I mean, we got it already. I think we had that conversation the last time, Mr. Mecca,
Right.
and I agree with you to a point. But I want to know right now. To me, every century, if I'm correct, the government is going to put something out here to population control us, to kill us off a certain amount. I just think this one is by far yet the worst that I've ever seen, besides the Spanish flu and influenza and all of them things. So I don't know. I just hope the best and pray for the youth, man, because I've um, I've lived my life, and it's so sad that right now I have my children, which is okay for them to be at home doing studies and doing work from home on the internet. But I wonder sometimes and say they will never have the fundamental part of going in a classroom and sitting down and your your lollipop drops, so let's go rinse it off and stick it back in your mouth. That them days are through, and they will never be able to experience what we have already had in our past. And it's sad that this is what the government is doing to our youths right now. Basically, they're doing it to, we think they're doing it to us, but they're really doing it to our kids.
Yeah, but if it was just taking a shot or a vaccine, that would be okay and not bad and not too bad because it's beyond just that. This is total control of the entire population through AI. That's where we're going.
Well,
A
here
lot
will
of a
here
lot of
will
them are prepping. We're already on the Chinese system, the credit system. So the vaccine passport is just the tip of the iceberg because people believe that it's okay to be showing that you have some kind of medical pass when in fact also you hear a lot of people who so-called are vaccinated are still coming down with the thing that doesn't exist. Not only that, when you look at the CDC website VARS, it's so many people have died already from it. This is not what I am saying, this is what the government is reporting. Now it's almost 700,000 people with injuries and like 17,000 deaths. They have said that VARS, that system, is always the report is like 1%. So if you was to extrapolate and say like 10%, 17,000 would be like 170,000 people. Now, there was a Cutler incident in the 1950s where they vaccinated some kids for polio. 200,000 kids were vaccinated and 40,000 were infected with polio. 10 died and they stopped it. Instantly, they stopped it. Do you know why they stopped it? Because at that time, vaccine companies were not immune from liability. They were being sued left, right, and center. Today, you can't sue them.
no, they got
So,
the FDA, FDA man.
so now it's open season. They soon want your cow, your puss, and your dog to be vaccinated because this is about total control. And this is not what I'm saying. It's all over the world. How come all over the world are responding to this thing almost the exact same way? Think about it. How is it? Countries are different in different stuff. All of them is rolling out the same thing and only one thing: vaccine. Vaccine is a panacea, cure everything. People with with compromised conditions, people with cancer, their doctors are encouraging them to take it. But yet, when these people take it and they come down sick or die, the first thing they say, no, it's not the vaccine. So
Right.
that's the madness of it. So if it was just vaccine, fine, but it's total control because pretty soon they're already establishing the digital credit currency. They're establishing that. And what's going to happen when you don't do some certain things that they tell you to do? You can't access your money.
Nope,
So
Right.
this is communism.
it is. It's the new world order,
Yes, sir.
and they
Yes, sir.
have and they hid and tucked away all of our man, and that's why we don't know where the money in there.
Right.
But
Yeah.
to be honest, Mr. Mecca, to be honest with you, man, it's a sad thing
Yeah,
to
it's sad.
to watch it unfold right before our eyes the way it is, man.
Right.
But as one of my good quotes says that for evil to prevail is when good men do nothing. We're
Right.
not doing anything. And people always believe that when I say resist, people always believe it's violent resistance. No, just opt out. You go to a business and they want you to wear a self-suffocating device or to show a pass. You just don't go. That those business depend on customers. No customers, no business. Everything depend on customers. They depend on workers. No workers, no business. It's simple. It's the simplest of thing, but it takes sacrifices. Yes, it takes sacrifices. It does, because that's the price of freedom. You gotta sacrifice.
Right.
You're born free, but you have to fight to be free, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I believe we wasn't born free. We born in this system, and we have to fight for freedom to get out of the system.
Well, I think the creator made us all free. It's just
Right.
man in himself believe that boy, I want to own the man, you know. I want to own him.
And it goes back to what Mr. Ricardo was saying. You know, man was made to have dominance over everything except a next man.
Well, try tell men that no.
Of course,
You hear
that's
them
nice.
talk about
And them.
the elites. Who make them elite? Because we make them elite. Because we
Yes,
believe that they're better than us. Why? Because they have money.
right.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, we put them on a platform,
Pedestal,
and
exactly.
and we need to stop doing that.
And these
You
people
know.
die every day.
Yeah.
It don't matter. They die every day. Sometimes horribly, or sometimes they live long, but they suffer just like everybody else. They
Mm-hmm.
die. They're human beings. And until we get that in our head and start to address the root cause, we have more problems, if not worse. Nobody recognizes New Zealand and Canada and Australia. Those are even worse than China.
Yes.
They
Yes,
make
I see
China look
some.
like a walk in the park.
Right.
But yet we like to criticize China, but China is right at our doorsteps.
All right. Yeah, so we coming to the end of the show, right? Anthony, thank you again for coming in. I know you was busy, right? But we still appreciate you coming and share your thought with us. Of course, Mr. Maka, pretty much, you are part of the show, and we do appreciate you. As guest of the show, we want to give you guys some gifts. So everybody that was a guest, Mr. Ricardo also, Godfather Songs have a gift for you guys. Let me just put it on the screen. So, tonight guest gonna receive a coffee mug, a pen, and of course, one of those poppers for your phone, right? So, so I want to encourage everybody to come on the show,
Love.
right? To be a
Nice.
part of the show. You're gonna get some gifts from us, right? So yeah, you guys could come on the show and be a part of it, and get some gears, some Godfather gears, right? So you guys gonna receive that pretty soon. Once I get your information, I'll get it out to you guys. But it's just a small appreciation of being a part of the show and help us to grow and to get the word out there, right? So we do appreciate you guys, and of course, just want to ask for an ending statement for tonight. Let us share some thought with the audience. Let them know your final thought on the subject tonight. As Mr. Ricardo said, we could continue next week. There's so much more to discuss, so much more to get involved and discuss. So Anthony, you want to go first? Any closing statement you want to encourage the younger generation, young men's, or in a general statement?
Yeah, I would say don't give up. Can't give up on the youths. No matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it'll make our health, because some people can't take stress, and even though it's a part of your body chemistry, man, just don't give up. If it kills me, I'm never going to give up on mine. I'm going to continue to instill it in their heads, no matter if they get tired of hearing me. But one day when I'm gone and I'm long gone, they will remember my words and remember the things that I've done and know that I didn't give up on them. I apologize for the kids that I have never was there for physically, but I know without a doubt, as long as we don't give up on the youths have some type of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. All right. Very, very well said, Mr. Maka. Let me hear one of those famous quotes.
My quotes, man, because they're very, very relevant. Okay, Charlie Chaplin, of all the persons, said, "Man as an individual is a genius, but men in the mass form the headless monster, a great brutish idiot that goes where prodded." And finally, Voltaire on men says, "Men will always be mad, and those who think they can cure them are the maddest of all."
Right. That's powerful, man. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, once again, thank you guys again for tuning in, the audience, everybody out there. Mr. James, I got you. The next time you come on the show, I'm going to make sure you get a gift, right? So be a participator in the show. Thank you for tuning in. So I got you anyway. I got something for you. But it would be nice if you join us next time, right?
Yeah, show your face in the
Show your
place.
face and say something. Tell people your opinions and your thoughts, right? So we definitely want to see you next week, right? So I'm just gonna finish off and says, as parents, pretty much be a role model for your kids. Don't let somebody else do that for you. keep them by your side and show them the way of life as best as you can. Once they get that teaching from you, when they get older, they could decide on which direction they want to go. But for now, you teach them the best you can. They will never forget their roots. They could go out there and messed up, they could come back because they know what to come back to. But if they don't know what to come back and you leave them open to the wilderness, they're going to adapt from society, right? So spend some time with your kids. Have your kids by your side. Teach them what you know and teach them the way and the right way of living. And I feel like, it's going to be a better world. Also, if there's somebody along the way, other kids that you're seeing that you could help them out too. Because society is robbing and taking away all the kids and the generation from us. And if we have a chance to save somebody, then make an effort, do the manly thing, step up as a man, and take position and teach these kids a little bit of education and again courtesy, courtesy and respect. I think that's the path to be a man and a leader, courtesy and respect. All right. So once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's a pleasure. You guys take care of yourself, your family, and we'll keep this conversation going until next week. We're gonna keep it going next week, right? And for everybody else out there, tomorrow we do have some music for you guys. It's called Traffic Jam. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time. We play some hip hop, some R&B, right, and get you guys home out of traffic, right? You don't want to miss that. And download the app. It's available free in your Apple Store, Google Play Store. And right now, we're reaching over 90 different countries, right? So definitely, if you want to advertise on our platform, let us know. I'm going to put that up right quick. Pretty much tonight's show was sponsored by A&W Transportation. Just send me a link, and I'll definitely get your advertisement going for you, right? So we're going to finish off tonight with A&W Transportation. This is one of his advertisement. All right, so make sure you support A&W Transportation, right? So if you need something to be relocated or move, or from in the neighborhood or from city to city, state to state, give them a call. Exotic cars, boats, whatever you need, they're going to transport it for you in no time, right? So reach out to A&W Transportation. If you need the link or the number, you could always inbox me and I'll get it to you. So you could give them a call, right? So
much respect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. Right. And of course, everything has to come to an end. So until next week, Wednesday, we return back with a talk show, and we're going to continue this topic. All right. So thank you guys. Be safe and take care of each other. And one love.
One love.
All right, Anthony, take care.
You
All
too,
right.
Mr.
All right.
All right. Good night.